So this is a good example of when we talk about light placement too.
Yeah.
I would have these lights probably up a little bit higher, probably somewhere around this, knowing how this genetic runs now, because you're wanting that light to shine where the highest population of your buds is going to be.
Agreed.
And not wasting that energy down here where you only have one or two. Good morning, guys. Welcome to this week's episode of Grow Room Weekly. We've been gone for about 3 weeks.
For a long time.
Yeah, doing a trip around Europe. We went to Anexo and Amsterdam and Berlin for Mary Jane. Had an amazing time.
Awesome. Thank you guys for showing up so heavily to Mary Jane. That was such great feedback. We know we're doing cool stuff here, but it's really cool to hear from other people. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you for everyone that came up and shared your guys' love. That was absolutely amazing. Yeah, super cool.
Today is simple. 2 rooms, 1 and 4. 4 comes down tomorrow, and that's the Blue Sushi trial with 5 different benches and 5 different trials. So stick around for that one.
Cool.
Good?
Yep, let's get into it. Seriously, and hide this fucking cable from just dangling right here all.
Why didn't it get ran up?
Because
Why we have this cord here?
Dylan.
Dylan! What day is it?
29.
29 in here. So we've got a pretty complicated trial going on. We don't have John today. Totally fine. He's doing John things. But Alex understands the trial really well, so we're gonna let him take this one over.
Yeah, so I believe it's the front is under canopy with far red, top light without far red. Nice, the DQ turned off. There's some big gaps in between all of them for light crossing over. Then after that, we have under canopy with far red and then top light with far red.
Ooh.
And then the back is going to be top light far red with no under canopy far red.
Oh.
And so then we're running it on the Blue Zoo, the Chanel.
No, that's Lance. Lance. See, he doesn't even know. We've been gone. I'm sorry. Blue Zoo, Versace, Lance.
Well, there's Chanel. Yeah, and then there's a small section of Chanel.
John did some weird stuff.
Yeah, the layout is not typical, and we don't typically like to have
no, we don't.
Split benches.
But he keeps doing it.
Right up.
Half the comments are like, you need to fire him, bro. So yeah, I'll just write him up.
Just abusing the plant.
Dude, he's so aggressive.
No gloves.
We will not be destroying the plants today like John does, don't worry. So it's day 29 in here. We've got a ton of different trials. What's really great is with all the trials going on in here, the plants look fucking great. They look so good. We're almost been in this facility for a year now, so we're finding a good flow, but it looks great.
Almost like Kyle a week away from a year.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kyle.
Kyle's crushing it. He's doing a great job. The guys are crushing it. Daniel, other one, doesn't like to be named, but you are doing a great job. But anyway, not a ton else going on here. We've already done our D-leaf, so if you want to pan in here and just see how we've opened up these plants, looking really, really good. We've got the Versace that throws really good buds all the way down to the bottom, and then we've got the Lance right next to it, taller genetic. Remember, you have to stand behind me because you're tall. So I'm 6 feet, okay? You're just tall. Fuck you. It's a cool difference right here. Obviously, the Lance is a lot taller than the Versace, but the Versace populates all the way down to the bottom, whereas the Lance didn't really show us that it would do that. So you can see we've kind of undercleared a little more here.
So this is a good example of when we talk about light placement too.
Yeah.
I would have these lights probably up a little bit higher, probably somewhere around this, knowing how this genetic runs now, because you're wanting that light to shine where the highest population of your buds is going to be.
Agreed.
And not wasting that energy down here where you only have 1 or 2.
Yep.
I'll tell the guys and make sure that we bump these lights up to the next level. That should cover it.
Should be good. But we're really excited about the room. We'll let John next week. John will get into the nuances of it, unless he probably did it last week too. But we're loving it, dude. And that's all I got.
Yeah, we're a little bit all over the place right now, jet lag still, so bear with us.
I am not sleeping right now, so bear with us. Appreciate it.
Bringing this over here,
okay.
Pick it up, and it just slides in.
Oh, so it's okay. So we can't drop it down; it needs to slide. Yeah, bro. What you don't know is I'm just not that strong.
1, 2, 3.
So this is the oven we're gonna use for what, John?
Drying out. I don't have a mic.
You don't have a mic.
for drying out for, for drying out the
I'm uncomfortable.
it's okay. For drying out the samples to get true dry mass, carbon partitioning. That's it.
What he said.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I was on the wrong thing. This wasn't bad at all.
Okay, were you good? Okay, keep pushing, keep pushing. Push it!
That wasn't heavy.
Hey! Dude, look at you little welder. Good job. Thank you. Peace out. Am I supposed to start right now?
You're ridiculous.
All right. It is day 41. We're harvesting this room tomorrow, yeah?
Yeah, tomorrow.
So this is the room, all Blue Sushi. Yes, thank goodness. 5 benches, 5 different trials. Really cool stuff. And it's really nice coming in here after being gone for 3 weeks because it's a whole fresh look on the room. So we've got bench 1, no under canopy. As you can see, it still looks nice. I think Alex just said it, like, looks pretty decent for no under canopy. This table, number 2, under canopy, no far red. Number 3, under canopy, far red on 5 minutes on end of day. And then we turned it on the final 2 weeks of ripening. So basically our general SOP right now where we're just doing end of day treatment and then turning on the far red during the day or during the photo period, the final 2 weeks during ripening. Bench 4, this is end of day far red, and then we turned on far red during the day after stretching had stopped. So like day 18, 19 for Z. Yeah?
Yep.
I'm nailing it, look at me. And then finally, this one's really, really interesting because we turned on far red, 5 minutes, end of day treatment, like standard, but we turned on daytime far red from day 1. Visually, what are you seeing right now? Because these are the tables that are supposed to perform much better than the first 2 tables.
So, structure of plant-wise, like everything came in here pretty even.
It was a good, yeah.
You could tell, I'm surprised on the difference in height, especially between table 1 and table 2, how much more extra height. Because a lot of the times when we're using under canopies, like we recommend for height control.
Yep.
And certain genetics like Z, where it doesn't drink anything ever, it allows it to really use that water more efficiently.
It roots in heavily and then starts drinking. Totally.
So this and like other slow drinking strains is a unique example of this, whereas like, let's say the typical candy stuff, you wouldn't see this as much. The bud's robustness right here, I like the shape of the tops and like some of these side branches.
And that's bench 3 with 5 minutes end of day and 5 minute and a photo period on for the final 2 weeks. So our standard SOP right now. This bench looks chunky is what he's saying.
Yeah. This honestly doesn't look too different from
I think this one's winning.
Yeah.
Obviously we'll let the data tell, guys, but just visual like does a lot for us to like understand what's going on and to move a little quicker.
This is like for Z, it's a lot more calyxy than like
I would agree.
Especially these like secondary buds.
Yeah.
Like coming down, and you could see that like internodal elongation between these stacks. Like if you look right here, this is a lot tighter together, the stack sequence right here, versus this is a lot more broken up. You could visibly see stem in between every single bud, which makes sense for the
shade response that far red, elicits in the plant. So makes a ton of sense, but this also looks really good.
The lowers are really dense on this one.
Yeah.
Like it is thick down here. Comparatively, this is a little bit more.
So in having full photo period far red would say we've been using Emerson effect since day 1, right? Whereas Emerson effect came in on day 18 here, and probably late, let's see, probably 10 days ago, day like 30 here, which is like for Z is like 2 weeks out.
Well, it's like not to detract from what you're saying, but it's like the Emerson effect is like we're doing it during the day, but at 5 minutes of end of day.
Yeah.
John and I did an episode talking about this recently where it's like, it shouldn't theoretically do anything.
End of day far red treatment is not Emerson by definition.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't do what it's doing to the plants, but here we are baselining this and having many cultivators do the same thing as us, so.
Yeah, I think yield-wise, this table probably has the highest, like just density in the middle of the plant and everything.
From the other trials we've done, this should win.
This, I'm very interested to see how this goes. The Chanel, when we first took over the facility, had some like more calyxing kind of structure. Yeah.
This is one of the coolest trials we've done thus far. Like, this is super cool to have the 5 benches, 5 different trials, all uniform top lighting. And then the episode you guys did about comparing par and E-par from, I just watched that and it was awesome.
So many questions around how to measure your lights accurately and properly. So if you haven't seen that one, I would go back and watch that because it is important that like knowing what technology you're using to measure these things accurately.
Yeah.
So
and it helps everybody understand like the details that we have to uphold in order to put out this data for you, because like there's a way to do trials and there's a way to do trials the right way. So when you guys, I just watched this yesterday. And when you guys broke that down, I was like, that's hella cool. Because you go from here to here with the E-par meter and you just see it drop off on the par meter because there's less par but more E-par. So it was really cool. Anyway,
shout out to Alexis for being patient with us because, dude, I was like, John,
every week.
I was like, John, we can't. I was like, we can't do this. It was like the most amount of takes we've ever done.
You guys were like fumbling, but it looked good. Like the one I saw, you guys did a great job. I had no idea. Great job, Alexis. He's the guy behind the camera every time. There he goes. Anyway, stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of data dropping out of this room. We've got a way that we're kind of packaging these trials up for you guys so you guys don't have to watch like 7 weeks of trials and then just to see what the end goal is. Like, we're coming up with a better way to package this so you guys can get results. It's clear. And you guys can use this data kind of manipulate your rooms how you feel like you should. So stay tuned for that. We've only had this facility for a year. We've only had our PhD for like 5 months, John. So like we're just starting to get data in and find a flow. So give us some time, but we've got some really, really, really cool stuff coming on. Shout out to Kyle,
stuff down the pipeline.
So much cool stuff, dude. And it's like, it sucks because things take so much time. And in the meantime, we're growing a bunch of really cool weed, which is nice, but it just takes longer than everybody assumes it does. So stick with us. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, tell us we suck, whatever. It doesn't really matter to us. Be nice to us. We're just humans. Be nice to us. We're going to keep doing this every week, and we appreciate you tuning in, man. Later. Peace.